official visit season is here, and the Oklahoma Sooners on June 16th, which just happens to be the ChampU barbecue. They've got a haul of visitors coming to Norman, coming to see Todd Bates, Brent Venables, Ted Roof, Jeff Lebby, and more. And we're going to see if the Oklahoma Sooners are able to start to close on some of these recruits that, well, they've quite frankly been recruiting for a while. But before we dive into it, before we jump into this list, guys, go ahead, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. And additionally, hit the like and the subscribe button because, guys, if you like content like this, we're going to continue bringing it to you. So, all right. The ChampU barbecue list. There are some huge official visits, or not even just official visits, but just visits happening in general this weekend. And this list is going to continue to grow. So right now we're going to consider this the early list. And then probably the Thursday before a lot of this starts to happen, we will dive into this list a little bit deeper. Now, I do want to point out that the week after the ChampU barbecue, there is a official visit happening with a 6'1", 205-pound linebacker out of Jasper, Texas, and Ty Anthony Smith that you all need to be paying attention to. Now, we'll talk about that one a little later, but I wanted to go ahead and bring that one up. So, according to 247 Sports, so if you guys go to the 247's page and you go under Oklahoma, you go to football recruiting, you can actually pull up this official visitors list. Now, again, not everybody's going to be on there because there are some targets who have not been confirmed yet. And there's going to be some targets who probably just show up. Like, let's be honest, there's going to be targets that they're not really talking a whole lot to insiders, which I want to preface this, I'm not an insider, but they're not talking to insiders a whole lot, not really giving a lot of this information out. So I would bet there will be a couple names on this list that pop up Monday following the ChampU barbecue that a bunch of you guys will be like, wait, hold on, I didn't know that person was attending. So I think a lot of everybody's focus is going to be on the 5 stars. You've got number 3 in the 247 composite, Williams Nwaneri, out of Lee Summit, Missouri. And the reason why this one is important, because you have Caden Green on campus. Caden Green was an offensive tackle from Lee Summit, friends with Williams Nwaneri. And also, you have Jamar Mosey out there advocating for you, or we hope he's advocating for Oklahoma. And this whole recruiting cycle, you've heard nothing but good things about Oklahoma and Williams Nwaneri. Up until the past couple of weeks where maybe some people have started to tell you it's trending away. Listen, personally, in my thoughts, I would say that Oklahoma is still probably the team to beat there, but you never know what's going to happen with these recruits in terms of money, or just they get there and all of a sudden, the pitch kind of pulls them away. Like maybe Josh Heupel's got that pitch. I don't know, but we'll have to see exactly what's going to happen with Williams Nwaneri. But big time recruit there. Now, I do want to preface this. They have him listed as June 16th. There have been rumors that he's going to show up the week before and that Tennessee might get the June 16th visit. So put an asterisk next to Williams Nwaneri because there's a chance he might be on Tennessee's campus that weekend. Now, David Stone from IMG Academy, one that Oklahoma Sooners fans will tell anybody any day of the week he is a must-hit for Oklahoma. The reason being is he's from Oklahoma. From Oklahoma, or it's Del City, I think. Del City, Oklahoma City. They're right there, right next to each other. But the 6'4", 270-pound defensive lineman, he's actually been in town when I was at the Westmore spring game. David Stone actually made an appearance. We've talked about that. We don't need to dive any more into it. But David Stone definitely going to be a massive recruit and a guy that definitely, if he's still leaning Oklahoma, which my thought, why would he not be leaning Oklahoma? A kid that grew up here, a kid that grew up probably dreaming to play for Oklahoma. He's probably knows he's coming here, but he's probably weighing the rest of his options at this point. So I would bet he's probably going to be recruiting some guys to Oklahoma, but we'll just have to see how that recruitment continues to line out. Sammy Brown, the 6'2", 230-pound five-star linebacker who a lot of you guys are obsessed with because, a lot of you have said resembles Boz and just the looks, which, I mean, I guess I can see it. Now, if you've ever seen Sammy Brown in the weight room, that's what you are impressed with. At least that's what you should be impressed with. Sammy Brown, definitely, if the Oklahoma Sooners can go out there and land that guy, yeah, you're talking about the Sooners actually looking elite on defense, especially with some of these defensive line targets. Dominick McKinley out of Lafayette, Louisiana. This is one that kind of came up under a lot of people's noses. Like, wait, Oklahoma is in there, and actually Oklahoma's probably got a better chance with Dominick McKinley than most people think. Now, that is not saying that Oklahoma's going to go out there and land 3 5-star defensive linemen. I mean, it would be incredible if they did. Probably not going to happen. I think out of those 3, you're most likely to probably land David Stone, Williams Nwaneri. It's just, I feel like with Williams Nwaneri, a lot of people really don't know where that recruitment is lying. I will say this, and I've stuck to this. The best person to follow that follows Williams Nwaneri's recruitment is Parker Thune over at Rivals. That is the best person to follow on that recruitment. So if you want to know more about Williams Nwaneri, go listen to Parker Thune over there. But additionally, you have Taylor Tatum, who in the composite is ranked number 31. So he's scratching 5-star status. So that's important to note here. Let's just say he's pretty much a 5-star at this point. The 5'10 and a half, 205-pound running back out of Longview, Texas. Listen, if Oklahoma is able to land him and David Stone, you've got a 5-star on the offensive side of the ball, a 5-star on the defensive side of the ball, and you're able to follow up what you did in 2023, I feel like you're doing pretty good there, right? You're feeling pretty good about it. Additionally, you're going to have the 6'4", 255-pound defensive lineman, Joseph Jonah Ajonye. Now, I don't want to give anybody's hopes up here. Does anybody know who Joseph Jonah Ajonye's teammate is? Who is a 5-star and is currently in the rankings and has actually taken a visit to Oklahoma? Does anybody know? I'm going to give you a second. Jump down in the comments. Justin Williams. Now, I am in by no way reporting that Oklahoma has a shot with Justin Williams. Let me rephrase that again. I am in no way reporting that Oklahoma has a shot with Justin Williams. What I'm saying is, if the Sooners are able to close on Joseph Jonah Ajonye, and they're able to make a pitch that blows him out of this world, well, he's teammates with the 5-star linebacker. What if all of a sudden Joseph Jonah Ajonye talks to Justin Williams and says, hey, I think you should give Oklahoma a look. I feel like you should take a visit here, dude. All of a sudden, you're positioning Brent Venables and Ted Roof in for another 5-star. Now, I think that is not going to happen. I think less than a 1% chance that happens. But never say never, especially in the recruiting game. If Oklahoma can get in Joseph Jonah Ajonye's ear, especially after they get him committed, and try to get a visit from Justin Williams, yeah. All right. Nigel Smith, the 6'5", 260-pound defensive lineman out of Melissa, Texas. No shock Nigel Smith's taking an official visit this weekend, right? You would imagine that this, out of all weekends he could have taken an official visit, this would have been the one. This is a defensive lineman outside of David Stone and Williams Nwaneri that a lot of people have been following for a long time. A lot of people expect him to be a Sooner. You expect this to be an Oklahoma-Ohio State battle. Hey, you know what? If Ohio State was able to flip Peyton Pierce, which I'm going to say flip because he wasn't even really committed to Oklahoma, but a lot of people had him trending to Oklahoma. If they were able to convince him to come to Ohio State in one visit, what do you think they can do with Larry Johnson in Ohio State with Nigel Smith? Because Larry Johnson, the godfather of defensive line recruiting, that's what we call him. Hey, just saying. But right now, Oklahoma-Ohio State battle. I like Oklahoma in this one. And we'll continue to follow up at Nigel Smith as this recruitment continues to progress. Zena Yumioa Zulu. Guys, you know I have been talking about Zena for a while. Even when a lot of people had died off about him, I really like the 6'4", 200-pound edge rusher out of Allen, Texas. Teammates with Michael Hawkins and Devon Mitchell. Well, I guess former teammates because Michael Hawkins ain't there anymore, and neither is Devon Mitchell. But, yeah, Zena Yumioa Zulu. So you can land 3 guys from Allen if Devon Mitchell reclassifies. Let me put that if in there. Additionally, you're going to have the 4-star offensive tackle, 6'7.5", 330-pound guy, Bennett Warren, who's got over 34 offers out of Sugar Land, Texas. You saw my write-up here. I like where Oklahoma sits for Bennett Warren, and I think this is the visit where they can close on him and get him to potentially shut it down. You've also got Braden Platt, the 6'2", 240-pound linebacker. You've got Michael Boganowski, the 6'2", 195-pound linebacker out of Junction City, Kansas. And then you've got Easton Baker, the 6'1", 212-pound linebacker out of Tule, Utah. So he's got over 17 offers there. That's a guy that you expect that's going to continue to climb through the rankings. But that's it for the ChampU Barbecue. That's what we got for right now. But again, you look at that top half of the visitors list with Williams Nwaneri, David Stone, Sammy Brown, Dominick McKinley, and I'm even going to put Taylor Tatum in there just because he is a 5-star talent. And he's going to be a 5-star at some point. That's 4 5 stars and one that could be a 5-star here pretty soon. Just saying. Oklahoma Sooners have an elite list of visitors this weekend, and there's no way they don't close on any of these guys, especially on the defensive line. They've got to close on at least 1 or 2. Todd Bates knows it's time, and I'm sure he's about to whip out the recruiting pitch of a lifetime. But guys, go ahead, jump down the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are about the ChampU Barbecue recruiting weekend. Additionally, if you have not already, go ahead and hit that like or the subscribe button. Guys, I'm also trying to grow the Apple, Spotify, and Google podcast listener base. If you guys can, jump over to any of those platforms. Go find me, The PG Show, all one word. It's going to be the same logo as you see here in the top. I guess for you guys, it'll be left. For me, it's on my right corner. It'll be that same logo. Go find me on there. Go subscribe. Give me 5 stars. Start listening to me on there. We're about to start pushing some additional content, a little bit longer content on those